So guys, let us understand what is a function in JavaScript. In the simplest sense, oh my God. Let's start again. So guys, today we are going to discuss about functions. So first thing and foremost thing to understand is what actually is a function in JavaScript. So in JavaScript, a function is actually treated just like a normal variable. So in JavaScript, a function is just like a variable. So a function is what? A function is just a variable. A function is a variable. Now, one thing to understand, variable, but then what is the type of this variable? This is also one thing we need to understand. So the type of this variable is object, which means in JavaScript, a function is treated like a regular variable of type object. That's all. So a function in simplest sense is just a variable. Always remember, a function is in JavaScript is just a variable. Now, if a function in JavaScript is just a variable, then can we treat it exactly like a variable? The answer is yes, we can treat a function exactly like a variable. So let me now write down some points regarding how a variable actually behaves. So these are the points. So point number one regarding a variable is a variable can be defined inside a function. That is the first thing. Of course, a variable can be defined inside a function. Second thing, a variable can be passed to a function. We can pass variables to a function, and a variable can be returned from a function. So let's note these points carefully, which is a variable can be defined inside a function, can be passed to a function, and can be returned from a function. So whatever you are able to do with a variable, all these things can also be done with any function in JavaScript. This is a very, very important thing for us to understand the depth of JavaScript. So let us now try to today understand and write program for all the three cases which we have discussed, which is passing a variable to a function. Now, let's understand one more thing. I have mentioned here variable, which is okay. And we know that functions are also variable. So this will conclude that if I can pass a variable to a function, then I can also pass a function to a function. So I can write a function can be passed to a function. Second, a function can be, the first one is a function can be defined inside a function. That is the first. Second, a function can be passed to a function. We are just mapping what we have discussed here regarding a variable. And because a function is a variable, so we can do the same thing with a function. A function can be returned from a function. So all these three things which we have discussed above also hold true for function. That is important thing to understand. Okay. This is what we are going to do today, because a function essentially is just a variable in JavaScript. Always remember it, because most of the JavaScript is actually based on it. So now let us try to write one program related to one point. And what is that point? That point is that a variable can be passed to a function. And because a function is also a variable, this effectively translates to a function can be passed to a function. Sorry, I mean to refer to, not this thing, but to a different point. So let me just clarify.